from Finland. So let's get ready to hear from Mr. Christian Lehtinen, the founder and CEO of Gili AI. Christian has over 20 years of experience in medical information technology and AI. He was the co-founder and CEO of Europe's first online hospital in the late 90s. And since then, he has held executive positions in several major Nordic IT companies. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Christian.
Good afternoon, everyone. Just a moment, I will share my screen. I'm Christian Lehtinen, AI researcher, specialized in analyzing medical data with machine learning techniques. I'm a founder of Gili AI company and CEO of the company. The company is focusing on remote monitoring patients living at home and home care customers and nursing home residents. One of our customers or customer organizations is FoHL, which is a Finnish nursing home company having 5 to 6 care facilities in Finland, but also one in Singapore. Before going any further, Gili AI in a nutshell, our focus is preventive care at home. So we try to find different types of health deviations from patients and customers living at home, and trying to improve also the quality of life of these customers. This is a Finnish-based company. Currently, over 30% of Finnish municipalities already use our solution for remote monitoring their home care customers. We do have also customer organizations, as I said earlier, in Singapore, but in addition to that, in the UK and Denmark, and quite soon, hopefully, also in Sweden. Gili AI is not a standalone care solution, but it's actually something you're supposed to integrate to your own care solution. And it analyzes basically all data that goes through your care solution. And in case there are any deviations, our AI finds, it will alert care workers about those deviations. Today's focus is mainly on home care and nursing homes. Instead of going any deeper in these chronic diseases, we do have lots of patients also suffering from some major chronic diseases like kidney failure or things like that, and we are monitoring on real time these patients. But as I said, now focus is in home care and nursing care. There are usually lots of information available from home care customers and care home residents. Basically, in many countries, every time care workers interact with their customers, they make notes about that interaction. They're also measuring lots of different things, starting from blood pressure and continuing to even some laboratory results in some cases. What we do and have done is we have a AI engine, which is a software, or to be more precise, it's a cloud software. So you are not supposed to run the software in your own laptop or anywhere. It's a cloud software, and it's integrated to your care solution, potentially to patient record solution, whatever your solutions you have this patient and customer data available. In addition, in case there are some digital devices that gather data from customers, the solution is able to fetch that data in real time. And all that data is fed to this AI engine, preferably on real time. It has pre-trained AI models. Currently, it has a little over 400 AI models, which analyze different aspects from the data. And in case there are any deviations in customers' well-being or health, the solution alerts care workers about these deviations. In care home or home care setup, these deviations can be as simple as the customer resident has symptoms of dehydration, or more complex ones. The customer is at risk for being taken into emergency center within the next few days. And everything between those two extremes. We usually use with our customers, instead of artificial intelligence, the term virtual care worker, because it does similar things what care workers do, trying to analyze what's going on with the customer, and because the AI is able to read and analyze huge amounts of data simultaneously, it's able to find deviations which are extremely hard or even impossible for care workers or healthcare workers to find. Just to give you a better understanding, a few examples what the solution is doing. It's constantly updating care assessment it makes from customers. If customers' health status changes even a little bit, it's immediately visible in this automatically generated care assessment. And in case something in customer status goes to worse direction, also alert is generated. So basically, care workers usually see our solution as a alert generator, but it also has some other functionalities which I will come back to later. Two quite major customer organizations, two large hospital districts in Finland, have made a study on how well our AI model predicting these potential emergency center visits, how well this AI model performs. And actually, the other one concluded that the AI model is able to detect 52% of these cases, and the other one got a result of 48. So quite precisely, 50% of these these cases where home care customer will be taken with the ambulance to emergency center within the next 5 days can actually be predicted with our AI beforehand. And there are accidents and something what just cannot be predicted. And of course, AI is unable to predict something that is unpredictable. You may fall down or something like that. The focus is today in home care and nursing homes, but the distinction between these two is not always very clear. In many countries, including in Finland, the target is to let customers to live at home as long as possible. And the AI is able to analyze and estimate customers' ability to live at home, and also to trigger warning when a customer is unlikely to be able to live at home anymore. The idea is to prolong the time customer is able to live at home, and also to increase the smoothness of transition to other services. And the AI is able to predict quite early if there's increased risk for home care customer in future needing some other type of services. So there might still be something care workers can do in order to increase the time spent at home. Our AI does not have any trigger values similar to that care workers would have to update. It adapts to customers' situations. It takes about 2 to 3 weeks to adapt to the situation, to understand what is normal to each customer. There might be customers who are in palliative care and customers who don't have any major deviations yet. And of course, this health status is quite different to these two types of extremes. But the AI learns what is normal to each customer and adapts to that, and is able to trigger alarms only when customer status goes worse. Otherwise, these customers in palliative care would get lots of alerts that actually lead no actions. Because the AI is able to analyze huge amounts of data in no time. It reads written text, for example. It's able to also prioritize customers and set customers in ranking orders according to different variables. It can, for example, sort customers according to their pain scale or depression scale, or even happiness or quality of life. So care workers can pick up those customers, for example, who have extremely poor quality of life, or at least these residents or customers for some reason feel that their life quality is poor. And life quality is one aspect we are quite proud of, because it analyzes about 20 different aspects, and it's not any objective measure, but it tries to estimate how the customer feels about his or her life. So you might have some major health issues, and you are still quite okay or happy with your life, or you might be feeling better than patients or customers in same situation, but still for some reason you feel quite lousy. And quite often these issues related to quality of life, they are not that difficult to deal with. There are issues like loneliness and things like that associated sometimes, or customer is worried about something unrealistic, just needs some support and better understanding of what's happening. The AI is able to help care workers to understand and detect what are the actual reasons behind these worries. Just a few screenshots to give you a better understanding about the solution, what it does and how it works. This is our test environment, just some test data here. Yes, Anna Smith, totally artificial customer. The AI has detected a deviation in mental performance. We can look what's going on with Anna Smith. We have different aspects analyzed here. For example, we can look at this Anna's risk for being taken to institutional care, basically meaning nursing home. The risk level is still on yellow, meaning that Anna is able to live at home, but there are some risks associated, and the AI also explains what's actually associated with this risk. For example, Anna has had during the past 30 days, 11 days, difficulties in moving around at her own home and so on. So it's not just a black box giving some wise instructions, but it's to help care workers to understand better what's going on, and hopefully is able to help care workers to cope better with their customers. Just two examples of what our customer organizations have found. This is one home care customer that got an alert about risk for institutional care, meaning that the customer wouldn't be able to live at home for very long anymore. Care workers were able to cope with the situation, and actually the customer was able to live at home for another 6 months. After that, of course, no one is able to live at home forever, but this customer was probably quite happy to being able to live there for an additional 6 months before needing to go to a nursing home. This is just one example. The AI analyzes these medications customers have. It analyzes prescriptions written in free form, finds medicines and dosages and so on, and is able to give an estimate whether there are some deviations with the medication that should be taken care of. For example, this particular medication, this is a production customer, anonymized customer. Customer's kidney function has decreased, and this particular medicinal drug is not suitable for this customer anymore. This is a dashboard from FoHL, the company I mentioned earlier, having care facilities in Finland and in Singapore. This is quite current, just from a few days back. This is the status, what's going on there. They are performing quite well currently. They are on green, and there has been 94 actions that care workers have taken based on alerts generated by AI during the past months. And there are some of the actions and how well care workers have been able to cope with these different types of actions or alert types. For example, deviations in mental performance, physical performance, and so on. They have been quite easy to cope with. And then deviations with vital signs, it has been more difficult to deal with for obvious reasons. There's nothing you can do. Just another example, when one of our customer organization had used Gili AI for 6 months, the number of customers having frequent pain decreased from an average from 40% to 20%. So they were able to decrease to half customers having these issues. Another example, this customer organization had poorly scheduled home care visits for almost 10% of their customers, and during this 8 months they were able to reschedule their care visits so that they were able to have less care workers working for that home care organization. So that's very briefly about how we have utilized AI to monitor home care and care home customers. Most of our end customers are currently in Finland. We have 56,000 end customers, mostly of them home care customers, and about 20 of those 52,000 customers or residents are currently in Singapore. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. You just heard from Dr. Christian Latinen, founder